Hey, this is Pastor Joe, and I want to welcome you to Sailing Discipleship. It's been a few weeks since we've been out. I've had some trips planned, but weather and other things got in the way, and I wasn't able to go. So we're heading out this morning. It's July 5th, so hopefully, trying to get out by 9. There won't be so much traffic on the river. Wind's blowing right up the river, so I thought what we do today is a little bit different. We're going to head up the Cape Fear River. We're going to go out of the marina, raise the sails. We're going to head up the Cape Fear River, couple of hours or so, I don't know, 7 or 8 miles, then we'll motor back down, but we'll have the current with us at that point, but heading into a headwind. But there's several things to see, several things I don't know, of note or of interest, so I'll try to point those out. But come along and let's head out onto the Cape Fear. All right, out of the marina right off the bat, we got our jib out, genoa out. I show them about every video, but the ferries going to Bald Head Island. Our marina is the mainland marina for the Bald Head Island ferries, so we see them quite a lot. The Cape Fear River is a pretty busy port, so we're trying to get out of the way of this ship coming up. But to my port side is the Southport Fort Fisher Ferry Terminal. It's a automobile ferry running between Southport and Carolina Beach, Fort Fisher. Two things here. I don't know if you can see them. One of them I'll get on the way back, just because I'm still keeping an eye on that ship. But this is a docking terminal, I guess. There's a chemical plant. I'll put the name on the screen because I can't remember what it is. And one of the big things they do make is citric acid for drinks and whatnot. And there's the Fort Fisher, Southport Fort Fisher ferry heading out. The other thing that's back in here, and that may be it right there, is the Brunswick County Nuclear Power Plant. And so that provides power up in here. And somewhere there's an intake canal for cooling water. Then the exiting water goes. There's a canal that goes to the Intercoastal Waterway near an anchorage, pretty popular anchorage. Name is escaping me right now. I don't know if you can see that red buoy. We're to the starboard side of that red buoy. We still got plenty of water. I'd rather be on the port side of it, but I think I'm going to give this guy plenty of room. All right, this is such a peaceful day out here. Winds actually haven't gotten, they're supposed to be around 9 to 10. It looks like they're around 7 to 8. Other than that big ship going by, there hadn't been a whole lot of traffic on the Cape Fear River. I've got the genoa pulled out all the way. I think it's a 135. And it's just nice. It's very relaxing. And I think it's what the doctor ordered. All right, we're coming up on the, I guess it's kind of the first entrance. There's a lower and an upper, southern, northern, I don't know how. But this is the Military Ocean Terminal Sunny Point. This is one of the world's largest military terminals. They bring in all kinds of military things that I have no idea what they are. We don't get too close. There's some guardhouses up, and usually there's a boat around with people and things that are a good deterrent, at least for me, of getting too close up in there. Wind is really kind of fluky, and that's okay. I'm not in any hurry. I usually don't worry too much about our speed. As long as we're making headway, I'm usually happy. It really died down, and we were just barely poking up the river, and right now we got a little bit coming in. Still not what I was expecting and what they were predicting, but again, we're not going to get too worked up on it. Probably what will happen is when we turn around and I start heading back and motoring, that's probably when the wind is going to pick up, because we should be headed directly into the wind. And my experience, it's when I'm headed right into the wind like that, it really gets kicking. So we'll see. But right now we're just going to enjoy this peaceful day on the water. Yeah, a while ago I was talking about how relaxing it is, not a lot of traffic, and then I look back and we got a ship and a tug coming up this way, and a couple of pleasure craft as well. But we are just outside the main channel, so we should be good, and we'll just maintain our course and speed. Right off our starboard side, you should be able to see a green marker, and just past it's going to be red. You may not be able to see the red. That's the Intercoastal Waterway. Up until now, the Intercoastal Waterway and the Cape Fear River have been together, and this is where the Intercoastal Waterway splits off from the Cape Fear River, and it heads up. There's a channel that goes up. It's a fairly narrow channel, I think. I hadn't been up that way, but it heads to Snow's Cut and around Carolina Beach. Got Carolina Beach State Park, and anyway, then you start heading up towards Wrightsville Beach and all of that. So we are gonna get ready. Me and me, get ready to. I'm probably gonna go ahead and crank up the motor and roll in our head sail and turn this thing around and start heading back to our marina. We've been probably about 7.5 or so nautical miles from our marina to this point. I will come back as we near the Southport, Fort Fisher Southport terminal, the Southport one. There's one more thing I was going to point out. I was a little bit busy on the way out, so I didn't want to mess with it. But anyway, I will talk to y'all just a little bit. All right, hopefully you can hear me. If not, I'll have to voice this over. But there's the dock for the chemical plant I mentioned earlier. There's the Southport side of the Fort Fisher ferry. You can see right over here, there's a lighthouse, the Price's Creek Lighthouse. It's actually not a lighthouse, but it was part of, Channel Light. It was built around 1849, decommissioned in the 1860s. That was actually the front light. The light keeper's residence was behind it, and it was taller, and it had a light on top. I'll put a picture or an illustration out of a book I read on lighthouses of North Carolina. Really good book. The Price's Creek Light, though, is on, the remnants of it is on private property, so it's not accessible. But I've heard maybe they're doing some work to stabilize it and preserve it. But that's one of the lighthouses of North Carolina that we got here. So we got that one, Oak Island, and Old Baldy right in this area. All right, we're getting ready to enter into the marina, so hopefully things will calm down.